video, take this time to share it with someone and tell them we're about to start. Share it in your, if you all have a study group, share it in your study group, share it in your class group. Anybody have any WhatsApp group that they're in, parents, any class WhatsApp group, feel free to let them know. Jump in, it's free. Some announcements. What I'm planning to do, we don't normally, guys, we have a problem. My screen is not working. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, let's start a pre. Start to bring it up. All right, yeah, we're getting something. Hey, prayers answered instantly. Well done. Who has prayed? So, yeah, let me see if I can do this. So, those of y'all who are in the student hub, which will be a lot of y'all here in the student hub, y'all know that we get the worksheet early. You all get the worksheet sent to y'all. However, I'm getting so I'll get with the messages from people who are not in the student hub who would like to have the worksheet early. So that's something we normally reserve for the student hub students, but I happen to be the director of the student hub. So I will talk to, I have a good, put in a good word for you. And on the student hub Facebook group, so parents, a good bit of you all are there. There's actually like 5,000 parents there. It's free to enter the student hub Facebook group. You just request and you can enter, you can look it up. I will also post the worksheet there during the week, maybe like Wednesday, Thursday. So those of y'all, if you're not in the student hub lessons, but you still want to do it ahead of time, we'll have it there. If you want to join any one of the student hub classes, we have limited space in classes. My class is full, a few other classes are filled. But there may be some open classes. This is the number that you'll WhatsApp, +1 868 3101 306. You know how much time I nearly put my personal number there? I will cry if I put my personal number there. What is this? Your whole a message. All right, +1 868 3101 306. Right. So this is if your messages, you're not going to talk to me. You're going to talk to the admins in the student hub, and you can ask them to join the classes. And the usual thing, don't spam. You'll have some moderators just handling the scene, making sure everything is everything. If it gets too fast, I'll be forced to do certain things. All right, so we ready? We ready to go? If you're ready, type ready. Take a little sip of this magical portion here. I know some of you get some others leave gaming. This is a cutting in prime gaming time. What video games are they playing on Sunday? Or do you still game? Now we get a little survey before we start. Do you all still play computer games, or are you all on a break till exam? Or how does it work? Do you get to play in the weekdays, or is it that you have no computer? Or how the social media thing works at this age? What it is? Any video games? Maybe you all still play a little Roblox something on the weekend. Let me shout out this person one time, Gabriel. What's up? I was talking to Gabriel mother today. And she's saying that he asking for some time to go on a roll of fruit. What does roll of fruit mean? You need to tell me roll of fruit. What does that mean? I think it's Roblox or one of those games. When somebody wants to go on a roll of fruit, what does that even mean? Anyhow, we didn't come to roll no fruits here. We come to play. We come to I say play, yes. We come to play too, but we playing with maths. Yeah, we're playing with some maths. So press like, share the link up. Let's see if we can get to, let's aim for 1,000 likes today. Our goal for this class is 1,000 likes. So they'll let me know if you're reaching in that goal. And you know the drill. When you reach 20 questions, you're going to get a break. When you reach 20 questions, there's going to be a break. Legitimate break this time, no halfway break. You get a good break. And I will let you know how many questions to go, how far to go. So without any further talk, let's just jump right into it. So we're back in fractions again. This is our second session of fractions. Next week, we will be doing consumer arithmetic. And anything to do with money. Anything to do with money is consumer arithmetic. So grab a seat, make yourself comfortable. If you want, you can put it up on your TV screen, you can put it on your laptop, your iPad, sit down with a book, and let's calculate the value of 2 sevenths divided by 6/15. So you can feel free to put your answer in the chat. Please don't spam. So what is 2 sevenths divided by 6/15? Well, this is looking like there's no common factors, but let's see. You know, we multiply, switch to multiply, and we invert the second fraction, the divisor. I am seeing like 2 has a factor that's common with 6. 2 can go into itself 1 time, and 2 can also go into 6 3 times. Oh, lo and behold, 3 can also go into 15 5 times. So we ending up with a nice looking 5 7. Why does feeling like I do this one already? Dun, 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 dun. 9/12 multiplied by 4/18. 9/12 multiplied by 4/18. So we'll just flip this. No, we don't need to flip nothing. It's already multiplied. So we just reduce what can be reduced. Well, 9 into 9, 1. 9 into 18, 2. 4 into 4, 1. 4 into 12, 3. 1 times 3 is going to be 6. And the denominator, 1 by 1, 1 6. The answer is A. We cooking it around gas. We take off it at speed. We take off it at speed. Miss Samantha, if you're still in the live, and I could, everybody, shh, let me see if I can see Miss Samantha. Miss Samantha, say hello if you're still in the live day. I want to bestow upon you the powers of moderation. So 5 over 12 minus 1, 8. 5 over 12 minus 1, 8. How does this work? What is the key thing that we're going to use? What is the key thing that we're going to use here? So the key to set the people free, key to set the people free is, of course, that's going to be LCM, right? LCM. Too many comments. I can't see if Miss Samantha is here. Too many comments. Oh, she did say hello somewhere. Oh yeah. All right. I found her. I found her. You all give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. No. More than 2 seconds. 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh boy. Anyway, find the answer in the meanwhile now. Why is that trying to find back Miss Samantha here? While you have to send 4,000 comments for boy. Oh gosh, Miss Samantha, say hello again because you get lost. You have to say say hello again. Let me look at we playing a game of find Miss Samantha. All right, good. I found her. I found her. It is done. It is done. Back to the regular schedule programming. So the LCM of 12 and 8 is none other than 24 because 8 could go into 24 3 times, and that's not really going on here, boy. Feel like I'm off that rocky start because my undo button stopped working in the third question. What is this? Back to this. Right, so the LCM is 24. So what we're going to say is 12 into 24 is 2. 2 by 5 is 10. And 8 could go into 24 3 times. That's what I was saying. And 3 by 1 is 3. So we end up with a nice 7 over 24. 7 is a prime number, so we don't expect anything to reduce further than that. That's number 3. All right, we back to this. We back to business. Well done, Chandani. Big up Chandani. Michaeline, you know. Chandani's from my NGSA class. So we're going to do this one now. We want to change this to a mixed number. I think that's what we're doing there. So we're doing a mixed number transition. To change something to a mixed number, you divide the numerator, which is the top, by the denominator, which is the bottom part of the fraction. And you want to keep track of the whole numbers and the remainder. So 8 goes into 11 1 time. That's the whole number. Remainder, 9, 10, 11. Remainder, 3. The remainder becomes the numerator of this proper fraction. So 1 and 3, 8. B is the answer. Hey, that's Mufasa. What number completes? What number completes the number pattern below? 1 and 1 7, 2 and 3 7s. What in the world? So usually when we have a number pattern, we look for addition of a common number. So the addition of a common number is the number in between is, in maths, we call that the common difference. So these are common difference patterns. Patterns with a common difference, sequences with a common difference. So usually if they give you something abstract like this, and those of you all in SEA, there's no multiple choice in SEA. Let me make that clear. This is like a little quiz that I do in the beginning. As this will benefit our CPEA, PEP, and NGSA students here. When you see something like this, you're looking for subtraction to see if you can get a common difference. So really, I'm trying to subtract 2 and 3/7 minus 1 and 1/7. So I'm going to do this the short way. Well, I'll do 2 minus 1, the whole numbers here, adding on the fractions 3/7 minus 1/7. Why is if you understand that, type Isabos in the chat. If you understand that, type Isabos in the chat. The yellow spot here is the whole numbers, that's these, and the green spot here, that's all fractions. So I'll do them like that. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and 3/7 minus 1/7 is 2/7. Hold on. Before you run down that and put A as the answer, that wasn't what we were trying to do here. We were trying to get the number that is adding up by every time to add it on again. So those of you all who are saying A, mash your breaks. We need to add. We need to say 2 and 3/7 plus this guy, 1 and 2/7. So let me do it like the Isabos method again. 2 plus 1 and 3/7 plus 2/7. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3/7 plus 2/7 is 5/7. Do we have that anyway, ladies and gentlemen? C. You see? C. 6. A length of wood is, apparently I can't read right now. A length of wood is 9 feet long. 3 pieces each of length 2 feet are cut off. Okay, what fraction of the original length of wood remains? Because anytime you think a question, I'm going and bring fractions, boom, it's fractions. It's fraction. So you're starting off like, what is this? Bang, fraction, right? So 9 feet, and we have 3 2-piece feet. So 3 times 2 feet. By the way, feet is not something that really shows up that much in terms of having to do calculations with feet and inches. It doesn't show up at all, but it could show up like in a situation like this, where it's just a quantity. So you don't need to know about how many inches in a feet and thing. No, you don't need to know that. So that's 3 by 2 is 6 feet. So feet, the symbol for feet is usually this, a little dash like that. If you ever do any carpentry, you might know that, or you ever measure anything. So remaining, I mean, this is a super easy question. Some of you are probably saying like, sir, speed it up. So 3 pieces, 9 feet minus 6 is 3 feet remaining, right? That's the symbol for feet. Of course, you could write 3 feet if you're feeling like you don't know the symbol anyhow. So 3 feet, and that has to go over the original length. The OG is 9. The remaining is 3. So fraction, the remainder fraction, everybody's saying B is going to be 3 out of 9. And when we reduce this, the highest common factor in these numerator and the denominator is 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 9 3 times, 1/3. So those of y'all who are saying B, all you know the thing, all you know good things. Number 7, Rhonda completed her homework 1.5 hours. In 1.5 hours. Jerry took longer. He took 2.25 hours. How much longer did Jerry take than Rhonda? How are you feeling about these first 7 questions so far? Or you could do this with half your brain, focus on something else, right? So 2.25, we only using 1/10 of our brain power. 1.5. Let's do the fancy method because something strange is going to happen here. Let's wait. Is it? Yes, it is. So the fancy method, we're gonna do the whole numbers here, and then we're gonna add on the fraction part here. But the reason I want to try with this method again, so our fractions, let's put that in green, and this is the whole numbers that came from here, right? The fractions came from there. You all understand? So 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1/4 minus 1/2. That's where we have an issue. Now I already know 1/4 minus 1/2 wouldn't work out. I can do the LCM for it. Let's do that. So that is really 1/4 minus 2/4, because the LCM of 4 and 2 is 4, and a half is the same as 2 over 4, or 2 into 4, 2, 2 by 1 is 2. So make sure you understand this line. But the problem I'm getting here, and who can tell me what to do? What do we do now? If I have a 1/4 minus 2/4, this is bigger. It's a bigger number being subtracted. So the idea that we want to implement is going and go so. We're going to do this. Watch this. Watch this. Bang! We're going to take off the one. We're going to take one from the whole section and change it into the appropriate fraction, what we're dealing with, a whole. So a whole, if we're dealing with quarters, will be 4 to 4. So you're going to add 4 out of 4. So this now becomes, well, the 1 becomes 0. So that's 0 plus 4 out of 4 plus 1 out of 4 is 5 out of 4 minus 2 out of 4. Ladies and gentlemen, 0 plus 3/4 is the answer, which is the same as 3/4 hours. Good? I'll jump when I say bang. So 3/4 feeling like it? Well, I hope you're feeling like it to you, because that is it, right? 0. Hey! Or my son making it into the questions, why? Who come up with this question? Who come up with this question? 0 spent 1/8 of his pocket money on sweets and half on ice cream. Well, 0 is not no pocket money. 0 is not even 2 years old yet, so he's not really doing these things. But okay, like, what fraction of his pocket money did he spend? All right, so he spent a total of 1/8 and a half. So this is 1/8 plus a half, and if we change a half to represent it as 8, in other words, the LCM would be 8, the equivalent fraction 8 denominator. We're doing this as saying it in all kind of different ways to understand what's happening here. 2 into 8, 4 by 1, 4. So 4/8 and a half equivalent. So in the end, we end up with 5/8 and 0 money gone. Wait, what fraction of his pocket money did he spend? Did he remain in it? No, did he spend? So D is the answer. So far, so good. So far, so good, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Which of the bars below has the greatest mass? I guess we just work out each one of them. Hold up, stop. I don't need to work out anything. All of these is 50. So they're asking me really which one of these is the biggest fraction. They need to work out anything. They're just asking me which one is the biggest fraction, basically. To get the biggest fraction, sometimes your best bet is LCM. But these numbers looking terrible. Who wants to do LCM with those numbers? Jeez, and ages. Not me. So, but there's another clue. There's another clue. All of this is the same. What did I say if the numerator remains the same? Which fraction is the biggest if the numerator remains the same? The one that's the biggest if the numerator remains the same is the one with the largest denominator. I feel like that information going to help somebody in an exam. Sensing it somewhere in an exam, somebody in this chat will be helped with that. So the answer has to be, this is the biggest fraction. All right, number 10. Last time I see this was in standard 2. How many of you all can remember in standard 2 days learning these fraction wheels and all kind of thing? According to, or what was that, grade 3? Grade 3, about grade 3. According to the chart above, which of the following statements is correct? Which statements? Okay. 1/3 is more than a half. Yes, but less than a quarter. No, don't do me that. Next one. Gosh, boy, they really reading here, boy. What's that thing in this question? 1/9 is more than 1/10. Wait, 1/3 is more than a half. Did I say yes for that? Also no for this. What's going on with me, why? 1/9 is more than 1/10, which is true, but 1/10 is less than 1/6. Yeah. This starting to look nice so far. 1/10. Or 1/9 is more than 1/10, but at the same time less than 1/6. What do you think? I find that one making sense. Why these things making me feel like I had to read it 400 times to really understand what's happening here. maybe the diagram is what's supposed to help me. 1/9 is more than 1/10. That's true. It's bigger, right? It's bigger. And it have the smaller denominator. But less than 1/6. So it's smaller. Okay, fine. B. To be honest, I'm not really feeling to read the rest of them. So this is where I want to make the plug. Parents, so they can go get the worksheet. I'll post this worksheet right after this live on Facebook on the Student Hub. The Student Hub. So look up that, or you can look up my name, Cohen Springer, if you can't find the Student Hub group. Not the page, or the group. You have to request access. And I'll post the worksheets there and the solutions. So if you want to go and check over anything, parents, you could go on that, get that, download that, print that. 400 times if you want to print it 400 times. How many pieces of tape each of length 25 centimeter can be cut from 7¼ meter roll of tape? Well, firstly, I want to do a little, did I skip a question? No. I want to do a little transformation. I want to change the meters to centimeters because I'm not going and try and mix centimeters with meters and that kind of thing. So 7¼ meter roll. Is my camera blocking the question sometimes? Let me see if I can fix that. Let me put myself down in the corner here. So tiny, boy. About here, so. Oh, about here. Nah, I prefer here. I gotta just live up here, boy, with the Student Hub logo. I like it here. So 7¼ So 7. There's how many centimeters in a meter? How many centimeters in 1 meter? First of all, you should answer that question. And you should know by now, you should have it in the chat, that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So if you have 7¼ it's 7¼ times 100. By the way, a quarter of 100 is 25. So this is very quickly, you can see this is 725 centimeters. And you want to cut 25 centimeters. So the shortcut for dividing by 25, everybody, I'm about to teach you something here. Those in my class, they probably hear me say this 400 times already. In SCA, there's usually a question where you have to divide by 25. So they usually test your division by 25. For example, if you have, did I give this on some other day already? 4,000 divided by 25. Shortcuts, divisibility laws. Shortcuts in divided by 25. Divide by 100 and multiply by 4. Divide by 100, so cross out 2 zeros divided by 100 and multiply the 40 times 4. And you'll get 160. I'll you see it again? If I have 700 and I want to divide it by 25, divide 700 by 25, you get 7. When I divide by 100. And then you multiply that by 4, you get 28. Making sense? If I have to divide 1,000 by 25, divide by 100, multiply the 10 by 4. So you might be saying, so look at this number. It's not something where I could just divide by 100 easy. Yes. Divide by the one closest to 700. So 700 divided by 25 is, we just work this out. Divide by 100, cross out the 0, multiply by 4. You get 28. Oh wait, it was 725. There's one more 25 in there. So 28 plus 1 is 29. So the answer is 725 divided by 25 pieces is 29. Was that a multiple choice? No, 29 pieces. 29 pieces, which is what people have. So hopefully that serves you well in the future, that piece of knowledge there. I find we're going real fast this week, boy. Hopefully we finish in 1 hour. Last time we take 2 hours. Before that we take our next 2 hours. Mr. Jones purchased a piece of wire measuring 5¼ meters long. He cut 2 3/5 meters of it to use as fencing for his vegetable patch. What is it? We're doing really remaining, boy. So anytime you see this word remaining, take a deep breath and prepare to do some subtractions. 5 1/4 minus 2 3/5. Let me do the fancy thing. I find the real cutting it bad with a fancy thing so far. Where we do the whole here and we do the fractions here, right? If I have a next one like this, I'll do the long method. So we're going to end up with 3 plus, bang, it's in the same quarter problem. Oh, we get LCM it. Let me LCM it first, just now, let me make sure I do the right thing. This is the piece, this is the whole, this is how much was removed. And we want the remaining, right, good, I'm doing the right thing. So LCM, in this case, will be 20. 4 goes into 25 times, so put a 5 there. 5 goes into 20 4 times, but don't put a 4 here. You have to actually multiply by this 3 in this case. 4 by 3 is on the button going again, boy. Charlene, I feel that your fault now. Charlene, I feel like your fault there. Somebody say use the best way, boy. Oh, is the random compliments to me? God will bless you. God, thank you. So, all right. 20. What we are saying 5 into 24, and we are not multiplying, so we get 12. Oh gosh, you see the problem here again, people. 5 minus 12. What is that one? 5 smaller than 12. So don't worry, we're pros in this now. What you're supposed to do is do so. Bang! Take one from there. Feel free to do that in your exam. Just kidding, don't do that in your exam. Cross out one from there, put it 2 there, and we'll have 20 over 20 being added on to this. So now what you're really doing is having 25 over 20 minus 12 over 20, which is 13. 25 minus 12 is 13. So it's 25 and 13 out of 20 is the answer. Alligator? I suppose I'm my questions here with the answers and things. Forget it, yes. Anyhow, I correct. So 2 and 1, 2 and 13 out of 20, 13 20th. How do you say that by 13 20th of a meter? So was removed. In Miss Beddoes' class, 2/3 of the students arrived early, 3/4 of the remainder. Already starting to reach into the extra remainder question. Don't tell me we had to find the remainder here. 2/3 reach early. 3/4 of the remainder arrived at 9 a.m. and the other students were late. What fractions arrive at 9 a.m.? Now we do it piece by piece. I like when they bring it piece by piece. 2/3 arrive early. 3/4 arrive at 9 on the dot. I guess 9 on the dot is the time. So if early is equal to 2/3, the remainder is equal to 1/3. I don't need to show you why, right? We understand that. Big up Guyana in the house. So the remainder is equal to 1/3. And out of the remainder, 3/4 of the remainder arrive at 9 a.m. So at 9 a.m., let's see how I do my statements. I mean, you can copy my statements word for word. The flow is excellent. The only thing not to copy is the handwriting. So at 9 a.m., we have the remainder, 3/4 of the remainder. Hold up, but the remainder is really what? The remainder is really 1/3, and of is really multiply. So 3/4 of 1/3. 1/3. So cross, end up with 1/4. So far, so good? 1/4 made it 9 a.m. on the dot. I guess they want to know for part B who reached late. If there are 60 students, how many were late? There are a few ways we can do this. We can find out 2/3 plus 1/4 and subtract. Or we could go, just for the sake of learning how to do the remainder of the remainder, let's do the way that most students will tackle it, right? So 3/4 of the remainder arrived at 9 a.m. So which means late, the late posse is 1/4 of the remainder. 1/4 of 3, what was it? 2/3? 1/4 of 2/3, which is 2, which is cross 1, cross 2, which is 1/6. 1/6 of the entire class made it late. So if 1/6 of the class made it late, how many students made it late? Why am I seeing so many different answers? Are they starting to frighten me out here, boy? What happened here? Let me double check this here because I find the answers looking real different. 2/3 of the students arrived early. So 1/3 is the remainder. 3/4 of the remainder arrived at 9. So 1/4 of 1/3 is what reached late. So I see all kind of 15s and 5s and 30s and thing. All they try and get the same answer. Parents, look at this question. Mayhem going on in the chat here with this question. So 1 by 1 is 1, 2 by 3 is 6, 1/6 of the class. And the class is 60 students. So late is 1/6 of 60. So 1/6 of 60 is 10 students. 10 students. Here we go. Let me bring up my questions here. Because I didn't really sleep last night and think that. I don't want my arithmetic to be destroyed, man. My solutions. If you got that, type Isa boss in the chat. I can't find no solutions. If Shadora or any one of them here, I could send these solutions. So I could just have that. Oh, little peeps thing, bang. Okay. Nah, you might have to actually send it to me. They're not showing up on my screen. That's why. So all right, let's keep moving. 15, a chef 2/3 cup. A chef uses 2/3 cup of olive oil to prepare 1 serving of a salad. He made 14 of these salads to serve it for his guests. How many cups of olive oil were used in total? A chef uses 2/3 cup of olive oil to prepare. Just now I had to read it again. I remember I tell her I mean sleep and thing. A chef uses 2/3 cup of olive oil to prepare 1 serving of salad. What? All right. Anybody's cook here, any parents, mothers here, 2/3 cup of olive oil for 1 serving of salad. Trying to kill the people. He made 14 of these salads to serve it for his guests. Wow. All right. Olive oil not cheap too. I missed a question. No, I didn't miss a question. So 2/3 for every serving is 2/3. I didn't even know it had so much olive oil. Nah, I refuse to believe that. 2/3 cup. 2/3 cup. Every serving has 2/3 of a cup. And he basically make 14 servings. That's what I'm saying. 14 salads to serve. What do you mean, where's 14? Why people keep asking where's 14? That's why, because it's missing. 14 is missing. Unless we can find 14. We can find 14. Somebody send me 14, please. Send me 14. Are we doing 15 right now? Right, so 2/3 cup of olive oil to prepare 1 serving. He made 14 of these salads to serve it to his guests. Why am I getting 21? Am I missing something? 21 not making sense to me because why are you all saying 21? I find the chat giving really wrong answers today. Like I didn't sleep last night too. 2/3 cup of olive oil. Chat, what's going on? In 1 serving. But we have 14 serving. How it can be more than 14? It'll be less. Every serving has 2/3 of a cup. Every serving has, and there are 14 servings. So in 14 servings, we'll have 14 times 2/3. Right? 14 times 2/3. So nothing can break down here. Nothing breaking down here. 14 times 2 is 28 over 3. So that's basically 28 over 3. 3 goes into 28. 9 times remainder 1. 9 and 1/3. So the 9 and 1 over 3 people have it. So if I only tell you we're going now with number 14, between which two whole numbers does your answer lie? Let's keep focus. Between which two whole numbers does your answer lie? So 9 and 1/3, where does it live? Between which two whole numbers? 9 and 1/3. Well, I happen to be an expert on number lines. This is 8. This could be like 7 here. Of course, this will be 10, and this will be 9. 9 and 1/3. Actually, I'm looking too expertish there. Let me just shift here around a little bit. So, bam, now we're looking a little better. 9 and 1/3 is about it. So 9 and 1/3 actually lives between 9 and 10. Okay, let's keep moving. Carrie had $60 as an allowance for the week. She spent 2/5 of it on snacks, 1/4 of it on stickers, and saved the remainder. It's another exam in the Caribbean where people don't like to buy stickers. There's a real popular thing they like to buy in these fraction questions, stickers. But 2/5 on snacks and 1/4 on stickers, and save the remainder. What fraction did you spend on stickers? Well, together, we just need to add. We're going to add 2/5 and 1/4. So we're going to get the LCM. 5 into 2, reach 1,400 people. 5 into 24, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 into 25, 5 times that is 5. 8 and 5 is 13 out of 20. Okay, you all have to tell a lady truth. $14 is not only missing, 14 is not there. So, hashtag justice for 14. I am just getting reports that 14 was not made. We have no 14. How could maybe we had to make up for that next time by playing 2 14s? How much money did she save? How much money did she save? Well, if 13 out of 20 went in the spending, the saved would be the whole minus the 13 out of 20, which everybody knows will be 7 out of 20, right? Now, that's not what they asked. They didn't ask about the fraction. They did not ask about the fraction. They asked how much money. So I need to find 7 out of 20 and multiply it by 60. So money saved, this is actually the fraction she saved. But the money saved is 7 out of 20, and you multiply that by 60 over 1. So 20 will go into 63 times, and 7 times 3, 21. So this was the 21 I was looking for from before. Maybe this was the 21 they were shouting chat. From before, everybody was shouting 21 for which one? This one? This one? This one. Don't feel like no, just do a reciprocal thing here and end up with 21. I hope all you correct all your mistakes. 5 years ago, Paul was 3/8 of his father's age. Woo! Everybody take 1 minute and do this question. Take 1 minute and do this question. Oh, these questions like riddles. All you feel, here what I can do, I can take this question and post it on my Facebook, and we can let the adults do this question. Adults no peeking at the solutions now. We're about to do these solutions. I will ask all the parents this on Facebook. I'll try and remember to post it. So 5 years ago, Paul was 3/8 of his father's age. Paul's father is now 37 years old. How old is Paul now? Are you ready to go? You ready to go? So now, Pops is 37. 5 years ago, he was 37 minus 5 is, this is Pops, right? 32. 32 years. So I know I was going somewhere there. What to do next? 3/8. 5 years ago, Paul was 3/8. This one kind of easy, man. They could bring this question more creepy than this one. Paul right now, no, Paul, hold up. I have a trick to this one. I can still ask them. Paul, and this is still in the 5 years ago, we're still in the past. Paul would be 3/8 of 32. 8 will go into 32 4 times. 4 and 3 is 12. So do we put 12 here, people? What we need to remember to do. That was 5 years ago. You want to know Paul's age now. That was 5 years ago. So now, Paul is going to be 12 plus the 5. So we get 17 years. So Paul is now 17 years. 17. I need the units here. So usually in the exam, they'll put the units there. 17 years. So mommy cuts 8 pizzas, how you say that word, boy? Into 6. I just know how to eat that word. Corey gets 1/3 of one pizza. How many 6th of pizza does he get? All right, let me take that again. Mommy cuts 8 pizzas into 6. We're doing it 8 pizzas, mommy. 8 pizzas. Corey gets 1/3 of a pizza. How many 6th of a pizza does he get? All right, Corey. That's not. I know what to do. So 1/3 of a pizza. That's how much Corey gets. Starts with K. There you go. Corey starts with the best letter in the alphabet, K. 1/3 of a pizza. We basically want to know how many 6 exist in 1/3. So 1/3 is equal to, and if you do this as 6, you'll have to multiply this by 2 to get to 6. So now I'm multiply that by 2. And test the thing, bam! We get 2. We get that 2 over there. Let's see what this camera is showing on there. Yeah, my fridge and thing. 2 6. Wait, how many 6? I just need to put 2. I can't put 2 over 6 there, I'll get it wrong. So 2 6. Yeah, that's good. That's good. What about the next part of this question? How many 6 of pizza does mommy have remaining? So remaining, how many is remaining? Now remember, she has 8 pizzas. This question, for some reason, when students do this question, the SEA, a huge fraction of the population gets it wrong. So can you all tell me how much she'll have remaining here correctly? Or is I just reload my screen to get back my undo to work? How many 6th of pizza does mommy have remaining? I think what throws the student off is that, you see, everybody's saying 4 6, you see, or 4. But let's say 4 4 6. Are there 4 6 is not the answer? Mommy have 8 pizzas. You forget? Mommy have 8 pizzas. So this is one of the easiest things to do that people get wrong. Like, you get it wrong, like if it's the hardest question in essay, but it's not the hardest question. It's just you have to remember that there are 8 pizzas remaining. So there are 8 pizzas in all. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Corey only went with like 2 out of the 6, you know. He only went with 2 6. You see that is 2 6 there. 2 6 is what he went with. So in this we have 4 6 remaining of one pizza, but every other pizza have 6 6 in them. Me too like what them 6s looking there, so let me just bring them along here to join these. So anyhow, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So 7 times 6 plus 4. So you have 7 pizzas with 6 6 in them. So 7 times 6 is 42. That's the remaining 7 pizzas. And then you have the 4 6. You have the 4 6 plus 4. So 46 6. I fed up with this 6 word. It's so hard to say. It's like a tongue twister. 46 of them we have. So watch out for that question, right? If they get something like with holes and take away a fraction, you still need to do the other pieces. It's notorious for students losing maths. In Mrs. Chin's class, 1/3 of the students drank juice. A quarter of the remainder drank water. And the others drank soft drink. What do they drink today? Are they drink any of these things today? Who is a member? All the juice people say, water people say, soft drink people say. Well, I hope everybody drink water. What fraction of the class drank water? 1/3 drank juice, a quarter of the remainder. So the remainder, this is where we need to find the remainder first. If 1/3, that's right, let's start over that statement. So out of the juices, we have 1/3, and the remainder is, I think there's a passive question, and I feel like I see this question somewhere before. I know I see it somewhere before. So the remainder is 2/3, right? Or you could write a long thing where we say 3 out of 3 minus 1 out of 3 is 2/3. And then quarter of the remainder drank water. So water is going to be a quarter of, replace that multiply, of 2/3. Dun, 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 dun. So that's 1/6. So 1/6 of the class is drinking water, ladies and gentlemen. What do you all think about these fraction questions? Somebody say something about a banana solo. That's not in the question. You sponsored by Solo. So drank water. What fraction of the class drank water? What's next? If there are 40 students, how many students drank soft drinks? 1/4 of the remainder drank water, and the others drank soft drink. So soft drink will be the remainder of the remainder. So if a quarter drank water and the others drank soft drink, how many drank soft drink? 3/4. So that's one way to do it. I could say soft drink is actually, and I did a question just like this a few minutes ago, 3/4 of the remainder. You all understand that one? Is that making sense? Cross, 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 and I'm getting a half. So a half of the class is drinking soft drink. A half of 48 is 24. How many of you all getting 24? We're getting some problems with this one, boy. Why are we getting so many different answers? Last week, you all were a little sharper with this. Is it that the questions are harder? In Mrs. Chin's class, 1/3 of the class drank juice. A quarter of the remainder drank water. If a quarter of the remainder drank water and the others drank soft drink, that's 3/4. This is a question I call the remainder of the remainder, or two remainders. You have two remainders in the question. A lot is going on here. So you have to practice these questions. You have no way getting out with these questions here. You are going to, everybody here, every last one of you all here going to see a question like this. Something similar to this. And you're going to go for a lot of marks, like 3 marks. So you need to really sit down on this one. We're going to reach number 20 just now, and after number 20, we'll have our break, right? Remind me, because I just forget break and thing. So anyhow, so 3/4 of 1/3 is actually a half. When we smoke clear in that melee day, in that reduction fight, 3 into 3, 1, bang, the 3's cancel, 2 into 4, 2, half. So half. And then the number of students, since it's a half, is the fraction that represents the soft drink, is half of 48. And half of 48 is 24. Very quickly, you should get 24. There's another way to do this, which is kind of long. Since I know 1/6 drank water, I can work out what that is out of the 48. I also know that 1/3 drank juice. So I can work out that out of 48 and subtract those two, and then I'll get the answer as well. So you can do it that way. You can try that out when you get the worksheet. All right. Mia received some pocket money. She spent 3/5 of it on food and 3/10 of the remaining amount on stationery. She saved the rest of money. This is the question that comes before the break. So Mia received some pocket money. She spent 3/5 of it on food and 3/10 of the remaining on stationery. So again, the same vibe of this question, right? The same vibe. Everybody are going through this question a little slower, so everybody can kind of follow. 3/5 on food, 3/10 of the remainder on stationery. She saved the rest. So if you need to visualize this question, this is Mia's pocket money. And 3/5, so she broke it up into 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out of these pieces, 3/5 went to what? Food. And 2/5 is the remainder. 2/5. She spent 3/5 of it on food, and 2/5 will be the remainder. And 3/10 out of this remainder now, she split this up into 10 pieces. That's 10 pieces. And 3 out of this 10 pieces went, hey, don't do me that, went to stationary. Everybody understand what happened in here? Is that how you spell stationary? This stationary? It's feeling kind of suspicious. But anyhow, she saved this is something you could get asked in ELA for these two spellings are stationary. All the ELAS experts tell me one stationary means still and one stationary means like pencils and things. Which one is the proper spelling? So this is like the visual of what is happening here. She have the food, she have the pocket money, she split it up into 5, 3/5 went to food. So you can imagine this is the food money here. I just drew it over right there. Looks a little smaller. And this is the remainder. Out of this remainder, she split it up into 10 pieces and spent 3/10 on stationery. So that's why the question is like there's a remainder, because there's a remainder part here, and then there's the remainder that could happen here, or the remainder that could happen with this. So it's a remainder and then a next remainder. You need to understand these nested remainder questions, these remainder of a remainder. And they always come. And there's always a set of people who struggle with these questions. So what fraction of her pocket money did she spend on stationery? 3/10 of the remaining. So let's find the first remainder. If 3/5 went to food, how much remained? If 3/5 went to food, I already mentioned it. The first remainder is what? The remainder is 5 out of 5 minus 3 out of 5, which is 2 out of 5. You all understand that? So that's the first remainder. And 3/10 of that is stationary. So stationary, I forget to check to see if I get any proper spelling here. Focus, everybody. Focus. There's A. Oh, the E is for school supplies and the A is for standing still. All right, if you say so. So 3/10 multiplied by 2/5, the remainder. 2/5. 2 going to 2, 120 is 5, so I get 3 out of 25. Everybody gets that and you understand? So we're good. I see some 3 out of 25 something now. Let me see if you're all going to get the next part properly now. 3/25 is the answer here. Next part is if Mia saved $28. So this one does it in reverse. So I'll give you all a little minute to try and find out your way here. Mia saved $28. How much pocket money? So you need to start back with the 28 and back it all the way back up to the pocket money. Do you know how to do this section 3 style fractions question? Full difficulty, hard mode, survival mode. Extremely difficult. Well, save this $28. This is stationary. 3/10 of the remainder went to stationary. The rest was saved. So the remainder of the remainder, if 3/10 went to stationary, how many went to saving? So saved is out of 3/10, 10/10, 10 out of 10 minus 3 out of 10 is 7/10 of the remainder. The remainder still remains, the first remainder is at 2/5. So now, so this is the part. This is the part that you need to stop, watch over this video a million times, see when I draw the things, try to follow everything there. Those of you all in class, you spent a lot of time in class to really break down this part, right? Because it's bound to show. And you are going to get 7 out of 25. So 7 out of 25 represents how much money saved. And this is where you're going to use the next skill that I showed you last week. Wait, did I? Is it break? Oh no, I thought I'd gone to 21 days. So after this is break. So 7/25 represent, when you have a fraction and use the arrow, represents, because not 7 out of 25 is not equal to 28. 7 out of 25 represents. So I like to start off with this and then begin to use equal. So 7/25, I'm setting it to represent the $28. To find the whole or the total, you hit them the good old reciprocation, inverting, flipping, fraction equal quantity, whole equal quantity multiplied by a reciprocal of the fraction. This is another thing that is bound to show up in your SEA, NGSA, CPEA, PEP, XYZ, any kind of exam in primary school. So 7 goes into 28, 4 times and 4 times 25 is 100. All the people who are shouting 100 from the word go, you are so correct, $100. Of course, they'll have the dollar sign here waiting for you. Not $10, $100. Do you know what time it is? It's break time. So now is the time of the show where you go and you're allowed to go and touch some grass. They make the most of this break because 1:55 p.m. I am also going to show you at when we come back from break at about 1:58 p.m. I am going to show you how many questions left. So you have the break. Go say hello to your family and friends. Go and roll a fruit. No, don't go and roll a fruit. Roll a fruit. Don't. I don't know what roll a fruit means. Let me read some of these stories here. They tell me some testimonials now. I've seen somebody give me a testimonial here. So I got 100% on my maths assignment in Miss Samantha's class because I used your method. This was the topic on equal sharing. Big up you, Giselle. Big up Miss Samantha. Congratulations. Somebody say room tour. I promise I'll give all a room tour in February. In February, I will give you all a room tour. So can I be on the screen? There you go. You're on the screen. Break is running out there. We just have a couple more. So I also get 100%. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, it's from Argument Blocks Fruits. Hi, Colleen. Another person want to be on the screen. So big up Miss Lakshmi, the best teacher. So I don't know who's Miss Lakshmi. Do I know who's Miss Lakshmi? But Miss Lakshmi is students here giving you the props. Miss Samantha is my auntie. Miss Samantha probably watching her. I hope you're Israeli niece. So room tour coming in February. Break nearly finish. I hope them people who go on to touch grass having the time of their life touching that grass. Somebody asked me to say the name and the name was Malachi. There we go. What's up, Mali? Do I big up Miss Goodridge? So roll of fruit means to get a fruit to eat in a Roblox game. All right. Fine. Anybody else have any more testimonials before we go? So I placed first in maths. I just saw it where it flashed across my screen. 91% Tamara, congratulations. Me having the time of my life touching grass. Breaking news, break has successfully been completed. So big up Miss Celine as well. Another teacher from the student hub. Miss Samantha is the best. So I came out first in my test. I placed first in that maths. Where your son? He downstairs behaving himself. All right, guys, do you know what time it is? It's that time where we finish with the break. Excuse me. And we begin. I lost some people in the break here. We was on about 1,400 and seen like 1,300 now. So I hope these 100 people didn't forget where class is after they touch the grass. Let's scroll along and see how many questions we have to go. Woo! These are some of the gangster fractions questions. Boy, these questions stuff. Oh! One number you see in here, right? It's 27. It doesn't look like a lot of questions in here. But I mean, these are tough questions, so they might take some time, but it's not in the 30s. So maybe we might have the time of our life. Maybe we might be able to finish class a little earlier today. More time for that Sunday sleep by Kerwin boy. The diagram below shows a number line, point x equals 1/9 and point y equals 6 over 27. So I did something similar to this last week. Everybody press like on each screen. Press like, find the like button. No. Look for the like button. Make sure you have it pressed. If you have it pressed, it pressed. So let me make sure, YouTube send out the video to everybody who it has to send out to. And tell me what number of likes we reach after everybody press it, right? This question is done by basically finding the average of these two numbers. How do you find the average? You add up and you divide by how many numbers you have. So you need to add those two numbers up and divide by 2 to find the middle. So if this ever comes, that's what you do. To find the middle, you can add it up. There's another thing you can do. If it's not in the middle, you can subtract, so you can find the length, and then you can find whatever fraction it is. So you can subtract and find the length, and you can find whatever fraction it is. So you can bring this question in a tougher way, but for now, all we need to do is add up and find the middle. So the sum is going to be 1/9 plus 6 over 27. Let's make the LCM 27, so common denominator. Focus, people, focus. 9 into 27, 3 by 1 is 3. 27 into 27, 1. So just put back the 6. So we have 9 over 27, which is the same as 1/3. It seems a little suspicious, to be honest. 6 over 27 is really well. 3 into this, 3. 3 into this. 3 to this, 2, yeah. 2 9ths. 3 into this, 2 9ths. Oh, I'm not done yet. Oh. I'm not finished yet, people. This is not the middle. This is just the sum of the both. I still needed to divide by 2. Yeah, so this was starting to confuse me. Right, I still needed to divide by 2. So the midway, is going to be 1/3 divided by 2, which is the same as saying half of 1/3. 2. So this is 1/6 is the answer. This starts to feel a little more respectable. This starts to feel, yeah, this is feeling better. 1/3 could never be in the middle of those two things. All right, so 1/6 is the answer. So now we see the method. Don't be like me and stop here and put this, right? You have to go all the way down and divide by 2. So that's a nice way of solving those types of questions. Let's keep going. In a school, 4/7 of the total number of pupils are boys, which automatically means that 5/7 is girls, right? There are 261 girls in his school, if you know, you know. What fraction of the total number of people are girls? Well, the remainder then. So the remainder should be 7 out of 7 minus 4. Sorry, not 5 sevens, 3 sevens. 7 out of 7 minus 4 out of 7. It's 3 out of 7. Oh yes, I have it. I don't know about you, but I have any time of my life here by myself. 7 out of 7 minus 4 out of 7 is 3 out of 7. So 3 sevens, the remainder should, if 4 sevens is boys, the remainder should be all girls. That's how the thing is. So there are 261 girls in the school. What fraction we get that by 1 mark then? 2 marks? Oh no, 1 mark. I'm starting to feel suspicious, right? They calculate the total number of pupils in the school. Well, 3 sevens represents, by now you all should be professional in this kind of things, right? Professionals. 261 they have? 261? Yeah. So 3 sevens represents 261. That's the girls in terms of the fraction. So the whole, how do we get the whole now? Fraction represents quantity. Whole represents quantity multiplied by the reciprocal. So we're going to give them a 3 into 26, 8, remainder 2, 7. 87 times 7. 87 times 777 is a square number. That's 49. Put the 4 there. 7 8 is 7 more than 49. So that's 7 and 49 is 56 plus 4 is 60. 609 students in all. 609 people. Wait, we are 1.3K likes. That's nice. That's nice. At the student hubs, guys, I can't believe it. Normally we finish at 3 o'clock and we already looking like we're coming down to the end here. At the student hubs talent show in our standard 5 class, at the end of class, we had a talent show, and there was a anybody here from that, from my standard 5 class? Maybe I could beat in with some another class too. What people were singing and things. It was bad. 10 out of 10. 25% of the participants performed an interpretive dance. We didn't have that. We just had singing. No dancing. 1/6 of the participants sang, and 0.3. Hey, how dare you mix decimals in this? Of the participants acted out a skit, and the remaining 14 participants performed a magic act. This is a lot going on here, boy. This is a lot going on here. Yeah, boy. We had some people there. Big up. How many participants were there in total? All right. I know what to do. They gave us a bunch of different fraction things, and then they told us what the remainder is, a number, 14. So I need to add up all of these, get it as a fraction, find the remainder fraction, let it be equal to that quantity, and work backwards. If you know what to do, put the detective thing. I have a detective emoji. If you know what to do, put that. Or put the scholar's hat. One of my fellow YouTubers has used the graduation hat. See if you find the graduation hat, put that emoji if you know what to do. That's showing the brilliance is there now. You need to add up the 25%, the 1/6, and the 0.35, and the remainder, equate that to the 14, and then we could find the total. Let me show you. Now that I have my plan, let me execute my plan. So 25% is really secretly trying to be, is actually all the way a quarter all along. It was a quarter all along. Yes, that's the graduation hat thing I was looking for. Well done. We have some people know what to do. And then 1/6 of the participants sang. Wait, I should write what they do next to this. Dance. Sing. So they already give me sing is 1/6. 0.35 means 35 out of 100. So 5 could go into this 7 times, and 5 could go into this 20 times. So this is really 7 out of 20. This is the best thing to do, boy. Starting to reconsider. All right. I done do this already. So skit. This is the skit. So we have dancing skit. Let's add up all of that. The reason I was starting to reconsider, I don't like how these denominators so different from each other now. So I'm sure 60 is the LCM here. Everybody here can go into 60. 40? Nah, 6 are going to 40. So 60 is the LCM. So a maths teacher would be able to spot the LCM quickly here. It may take a student a little longer. 25%, 0.2516. If you know the 6 family good as a decimal, you might be better off using that. Maybe not. So 60. All right, let's keep going. So 4 goes into 60. Think about the clock. Think about the clock. If you have 60 minutes, quarter of an hour is how many minutes? 4 goes into 60. 15 times. 4 into 60, 15. So 15 goes here. 6 goes into 60, 10 times. 6 into 6, 10 times 1, right? So far, so good. 20 will go into 63, 3 times 21. All of this looking proper so far. So really, we have 25 plus 21, that's 46 out of 60. 46 out of 60 so far. We can take a step back and watch it. It's one of those questions that watch your work and, take a little run back up. Make sure everything looking good. Everything looking good so far? Alia, check over that for a minute. 25 and 21 is 46, right? I could also reduce this. Maybe that will help in the future. So if I say 2 into that, I'll get 23. 23 feels like a prime number. 2 into 60 is 30. Why did I say 40? Why I got to say 40. So this could reduce to 23 out of 30. Good. That's how much we have so far. That's our so far. So the remainder, because that's 14, the remainder should be 14, is going to be, I could clearly see 7 out of 30. Everybody okay with that? I don't need to show 30 out of 30, minus 22 out of 30, 7 out of 30. Everybody seeing it 7 out of 30. You following? 7 over 30. But this is representing, time to pull out, we hit them with most popular trick. And now I shall show you the song of my people. 7 out of 30 is represented by 14. So the whole, which is what you want, or that's okay, you want to use the word total. I know about synonyms, I can use total here. So 14 minus multiplied by the reciprocal, dang, 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 dang. Wait now, all of this to come and get 60. Okay, it's feeling good. Feeling good. 60 students. It feels right. 60 students. 60 participants. Hey, units and thing, boy. Keep it up. Number 24, Chloe decided to make bookmarks for. I'm still feeling a little sad about that number 14, boy. Gone but not forgotten. Chloe decided to make bookmarks for her friends. How many bookmarks, each of length 25 centimeters, can she use? We back to this. We back to the easies. This is back to the easy stuff. 4 and 7. This is basically okay. Let's do it the long way. 100 centimeters equal 1 meter. So if I have 4 and 7 tenths of a meter, I just multiply the 4 by 100. 4 by 100 is 400, and the 7 tenths of 100, 10 into 100, 10 of 70, right? So this is 470 centimeters. And if we go to that, wait, this one is a little different because this one is a little different. Why is this one different? Last time it was divided by 25 and it divided exactly. This one have a remainder. How they gonna do with that? All right, so 470. So I guess we'll just use the first whole now. So I have this camera that follows me around like this. That's why the people don't know I can do a room tour. But I dare not walk too far this way because my room is a mess. Probably like your room too. Hey, I'll let me make a decision to clean your room this week. But if I do so, the camera stays put. It doesn't follow me around anymore. But sometimes I explain a lot with my hands, so sometimes I accidentally do this. And I stop it or I start it. Anyhow, back to this. 470 divided by 25. Remember the shortcut I showed you. 25 could go into 400. 4 times 4, 16 times so far, right? And, well, you have to think of 25 as always hitting these intervals. 25, 50, 75. So I'm sure I'll get 2 more 25s. So I'll get 18 25s. 18 25s are 450. Double check that, make sure you get it. And it'll have a remainder of, I don't know, 20. Remainder 20. But we don't care about that remainder. They want to know how many bookmarks. It's going to be 18. We can't make any small bookmarks. Sorry. If I was, I would have just make a 20 centimeter bookmark. Like that one would have been the short one, but you can't do those things in these exams. Number 25. Wait, my room does, somebody say my room just untidy. I could show you. I'm going to show you. I don't know if it, so I have this Lasco fan that's broken here. I don't know how much you will see it. I have my lights. You probably see my light glowing out here. That's where you see it. That's my light. And I have, see me? I have one equipment on the ground here, some books. So it's not dirty, but it's untidy. See? Oh, it must be cleaner than some other room, right? Rate your, out of 10, how clean is your room? Next week when I show you all my room, I'm going to try to make it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. All right, so back to this. Rashid's body mass was 120 kilograms. He went on a diet and lost 1/6 of his body mass during the first month, 1/10 of the remaining mass during the second month. What fraction of the original mass did Rashid lose during the second month? All right, yeah, we had to do this step by step. You see 9 out of 10, somebody says 0 out of 10, 5 out of 10. My room is the animal zoo. Everybody, let's look into this question. Let's know, Take your time, try this question. Let me just get myself out of the way. What fraction of the original mass, right? So we could do it piece by piece. I could do it all the way. Let's do it pro mode. Let me go pro mode and see if we can do this the professional way. If he lost 1/6 of his body mass during the first month, after the first month, how much mass remains? 5/6, right? Right. And then what fraction of the original mass did he lost the second month? On the second month, if 5/6 remains and he lost 1/10 of that, then he lost out of the original 1/10 of the 5/6. We get to the answer real fast here. That the pro moves. How about you see the professional moves there? 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 10, 2. 1 by 1, 2 by 6, 1/12. So you notice a bunch of people always put in answers like almost as soon as I bring up the question. Most likely those people in the student hub and they had the worksheet whole week. So what I'm going to do, I told them this in the beginning, is parents, if you want to get the worksheet ahead of time and you're not a member of the student hub for whatever reason, you don't have a student in any of the student hub's maths classes, I will still make it available on the Student Hub's Facebook group. So I'll post it sometime midweek, what I'm going to do. And you can always print that out and let them do it ahead of time. So this will be, that's why it's so useful for like the students in the Student Hub, because they'll do it and they get to revise and check over methods and different methods and that kind of thing. Somebody else calling my phone. So you all get to know this question? No, nobody was calling me. What fraction of the original body mass? Hold on, he lost 5/6. Let me just double check it. I talked so much I forget where I was. 5/6 remains 1/10 of the remaining mass, 1/10 of the 5/6. Oh, good. So let's keep moving. Yeah, so somebody says it's not fair they get it and they don't. Well, in the student, I'm still going to let you get it, right? So you can still get it and by downloading it from Facebook. So altogether, on the first month, he lost 1/6, and then the next month he lost 1/12. So basically, we just add up these two. Out of 12, 1/6 goes into this 2 times, so 2, we get a 2 there, 12, 1. So we get 3/12, which is the same as 1/4. So those of y'all who are saying a quarter, very smart, very smart. What is Rashid's present body mass? Oh gosh, my question, you don't want to finish it. So if he lost a quarter of the 120, so he remains with 3/4, right? So it remains a 3/4 of 120. And 4 will go into 12 3 times, so 4 goes into 120 30 times. 3 times 30 is 90. Hold on, was it what they give him? Pounds, what they give him? Kilograms. 90 kilograms. 90 kg. A restaurant allocates a quarter of its menu offerings to vegetarian dishes and 3/10 of its options to seafood. What fraction of the menu is spent on vegetarian dishes and seafood altogether? So this is the second to last question. What fraction of the menu is spent on vegetarian dishes and seafood altogether? So a quarter of the menu goes to veggies. Anybody's a vegetarian here? And 3/10 of, I guess that's another thing, that's like 3/10 goes to seafood. That's what I understand so far. 1/4 went to vegetarian and 3/10, I see the product placement. What seafood? 3/10 to seafood, 1/4 to vegetarian. What fraction of the menu is spent on vegetarian? Oh, we just need to add. So add. So 1/4 plus 3/10. So altogether, let's use the word altogether as our prompt. Notice how I like to use one word prompts to save time, but I still have a nice little statement. 20 is the LCM here. 4 goes into 25 times 5. 10 goes into 22 times 2 times 3 is 6. We do this so many times. 11 out of 20. I hope by now that your fractions game is really strong. After these 2 weeks of fractions, the remaining items on the menu is allocated to drinks. Fractions is one of the most hot button question. Wow, so all of that is drinks. So this menu is just vegetarian, seafood, and drinks. Okay, interesting. So remainder is 9 out of 20. So 20 out of 20 minus 11 out of 20 is 9 out of 20. That's a fraction. We said percentage. Don't get the chain up here. They want this as a percentage. So as a percentage remainder, to change a fraction to a percentage, you multiply by 100. So let's multiply by 100 over 1. So 20 into this 5. 5 9 is 45. 45%. So Lizzie complained to the manager that they allocated more of the menu towards drinks than seafood. Is she correct? Lizzie, I would have asked that complaint too. So, well, actually, maybe it depends on the type of drinks. Drinks than seafood. Is she correct? So she's basically saying that drinks is 9/20th and seafood, how much was seafood earlier? Seafood is 3/10. Seafood is 3/10. So, which is equivalent to 6/20ths. This is the equivalent fraction. So Lizzie is correct. Lizzie is correct. 9/20ths is greater than 6/20ths. This represents the drinks. This represents the seafood. So we use some calculations there. I don't know. That's easy to see there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the last question. If you haven't yet pressed like, what better time to press it than this? If you was waiting for an occasion, Sarah decided to sell 30% of her collection of baseball cards and then donated 1/3 of her remaining cards to charity. 30% go and sell. 1/3 of the remainder, Sarah's left with. Calculate how many baseball cards had initially. So this is the full works and of this question. Everybody ready to do this question? Sit back and watch. Be amazed. I don't know. Maybe you can do it now. Maybe you can go and take these questions and show your friends and amaze them. Sarah decided to sell 30% of her collection of baseball cards. 30% in fraction land is 3/10, or 30 out of 100 will eventually break down to 3/10, right? That's how much he sell. And the remainder would be, because we know we're about to use the remainder, the 10/10 minus the 3/10, which we could have just write 7/10 and go on. And 1/3 of this was given to charity. So charity, 1/3 of 7/10. Now we didn't need to find this, but I'm just showing you. Out of this, 1/3 was given to charity. What was left is 42. So remainder would be 2/3 of the whole remainder. The whole remainder was 7/10. So 2 out of 3 multiplied by 7/10. So we'll get cross angry miserable. So 1 by 7, 7, 3 by 15. So far, so good. If you understand everything so far, so good, say I-U. I-U. The letter I, the letter U. I understand. All right. And that's not the answer because we need to calculate how much he had initially. But we are about to show them the song of our people. What is the song of our people? What is the trick that we always have up our sleeves ready and waiting to use in the exam? Fraction represents quantity, whole or total, or how much he had initial, will be the quantity multiplied by the reciprocal. So many division by 7. 7 was clearly the number of the day. I think 8 was the number of the day in the first session. Anybody here from the first session? 7 is the number of the day in this session. 7 into 7, 1, 7 into 42, 6 by 15. So multiplying 6 by 15, here's what's going on in my mind. I'm thinking 15 as like on the clock. So 15 and 15 is 30. And there's the next 15 and 15, that's 60. And then there's the next 15 and 50, that's 6. That's 6 15s, right? So I kind of showing you how I'm visualizing it. So I was able to get my 60 plus my 30, so that's 90. So how many of you all can multiply 6 by 15 mentally and see that 90 pop up there? 6 by 15 is 90. 7 by 15 goes over 100. So 7 by 15 is more than 100, which is something you have to know for some multiple choice in math, CXC or something. All right, so 90 baseball cards is what we have. Wait, there's the next part. It's the same question, but there's the next part. How many baseball cards did charity receive from Sarah? Well, we already kind of lined up that already. So fortunately, we know it's 7 out of 30 multiplied by how much she has. So charity would get 7/30th of the 90 cards, which is 21. Is that it? So you can read that, you can read out now. This week took 30 minutes less than last week. So very nice. The only problem we really had in this week was number 14. So you could send some flowers to number 14. Rest in peace, number 14. Till we see you again. Maybe next week, number 14. That's the worst flower I ever draw, boy. So parents, those of y'all who on Facebook and thing, look out for that group, or you can follow me at Kerwin Springer. Just look up that, and I will post the group one more time or something like that. And it's on the group, so you can see all you past worksheets on the group as well. Those of y'all in the student hub, y'all will get it in class. What else, boy? So next week, two more announcements before we go. Hang in there, and I'll do some shout outs. 2 more announcements. So next week, we're going to do consumer arithmetic. So consumer arithmetic is usually easy. There are some pitfalls though, so you'll get to see me do some of the tricky stuff in consumer arithmetic. It's probably, as a maths teacher, any maths teachers out there, it's probably my least like. Am I allowed to say that? It's my least like thing to do. So next week I will just be doing this with an angry face. Because it's just a bunch of calculations. There's like not much, but I'll make it fun. Don't worry, I'll make it fun. So consumer arithmetic, anything to do with money, we're going to do that. The following week, we'll do a sample paper. So we'll do something that combines a lot of all the stuff we learned so far, plus extra together. But this sample paper will follow the NGSA format, which is still useful for everybody who doing SEA, CPEA, PEP. So the reason why we're starting off with NGSA as the sample is because they have a mock exams coming up in February somewhere there. Anybody from NGSA know you have a mock exams coming up? That's Guyana. Those from Guyana know you have a mock exams coming up like nationwide. What else? I think that was 2 announcements I said. And those of you who want to know the student hub number to WhatsApp to join any class or anything like that, or if you're watching in the future and you want to join any classes, that's the number to WhatsApp. And it's time to bust them shout outs. So giving, trying to get my screen to the normal thing so I can get the shout outs. So y'all can see the number there, right? Love and blessings. Big up me, Addison. Shout out to Diamond Grove Primary Schools. Mr. Gavin Thomas, your student wants to give you a shout out. Shout out North Regional SD. How you manage to make it twice on the screen? Sir, you is a goat. Now I hope that goat stands for the greatest of all of them and not the actual animal, the goat, right? What time is lesson start? Anybody want to tell this person what time it started? Because I say this all the time, you know. Tobago, shout out Tobago here. Yeah, somebody say shout out primary school and they forget to put the name of your primary school. Athenians, James School of Excellence. Say Ravi. Avocat Vedic School in the Dance, Pleasantville Government, Richmond Street, Fifth Company, St. Joseph. So it starts at 1 o'clock. It starts at 1. Curep Fatima RC School. So Scarborough RC. RL people from Tobago here, but the whole lot of Tobago in this. So. Monkey Town Government. All right, it is what it is. Richmond Street and Golden Lane. Hey, I've been to Golden Lane. Say hi to Miss for me. So put me on the screen. I think you mean screen, but there you are. Hi, Soraya. Arima Centenary Government Primary School. So never shout me out. Well, I guess this did not happen. This did not happen. Say Stephen, you are cool, sir. Thank you. It's a random compliment to me. Shout out Sacred Hearts Girls RC, Tabakit Presbyterian, Renee, Grant Memorial, Miss Orozco, Cuba Government. Is that how you spell Cuba? Shout out Maloney, Miss Celine, Delaford, Lita will be greater. So please, Adele, if I miss you, I miss you, right? Shout out to everyone from my class. There's so much. Mark, so much coming across the screen. Jermaine, what's up? Guyana in the building. Covent Garden Primary School. Shout out to Specialist Learning. Diego Martin Hindu. Stacey-Ann with Sir, you are not shouting me out at all. Well, this did not happen at all. Yeah, shout out to Bob. All right, Bob and Gabriel. Morvan, new government. Guys, I just clicked the first thing that I seen. You got ice fruit. I guess that's the roller fruit thing. Shout out to the student hub. Well done, boy. Shoot student hub every time. GL. So nice hat. Thanks. Clark Roshan. Okay, I thought it was Clark Road. Anaya, Pleasantville, Arima Boys RC. So some schools, like the whole classes be here because like Arima, I think I always see them here. 0.14 too. So all the teachers and thing around the Caribbean, all the students around the Caribbean, I'll keep it up, keep studying, make sure you do some past papers yourself, make sure you are writing yourself. Don't only let this be your only time of studying. Next week, remind me to take a survey so we'll see how many papers everyone is doing like a week, how many past papers, how much they're studying every week. So Jen, Aliyah, Jazara, everybody, Love and blessings. Till we meet again. I'll go and see about some things that popping up on my screen here. Hey, look at that. And I think this is do fireworks. Come on, man. Come on. That's a good way to end.